So you brought up Total Divas, and I know you've done live tweet ups, Blackjack, for the longest time for Total Divas.
Yeah.
Um, I just brought up the fact that we were talking about, what's going to happen with all these storylines that are going on from Total Divas and relationships with the Divas. And I said, what happens if the show gets canceled and all of these things like Natalia being mentioned that she's married to Tyson. So, like, she could never have an on screen relationship again. And you jumped in and you said, Total Divas will never end. So, give me your thought on that. Like, what do you like it that much? Do you,
I don't like it that much. It's just that, I feel like once it's been put out there, like the universe, like I hate saying that, but the universe isn't just gonna like magically forget that it happened. It's the same thing like when Big Show has the ironclad contract, like even though it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and they didn't like they failed to bring it up like at first, and then they took care of it like the week afterwards because
no,
everybody
that was
was
just last
online
year.
saying, "Huh?
That was last year. No, was that 2 years
Oh,
ago?
was it last year?
No,
I
it
can't.
was.
I
It
can't.
was. It was last year.
Yeah, but it's just like you can't make something like that. Like you can't just have that
Yeah, I
go away.
gotcha.
Like
So, are you
especially
saying that what's happened on Total Divas won't go away, or the show itself won't go away? I should
I mean,
clarify.
it could be both, honestly, because I mean, because this gives WWE a way to promote the divas, like we talked about earlier, which I'm okay with. I'm totally for that. I'm totally for promoting divas because I believe that if they're going to be a part of Raw, you need to utilize them, and especially if they're going to take up time on Raw. You need to utilize them properly and get them and do your best to try to promote them. But you also have to make the ring work match as well. That's been my biggest issue. If anything, is just the ring work. The show itself, it has high points, it has low points, but I've enjoyed it for the most part when I've watched it.
AJ Lee's promo.
Oh, AJ Lee's promo, which it doesn't sting anymore now though. Like
Yeah, yeah.
at that time, I loved it. Now
It's just kind of
seeing
watered down with the 4 person, all the the divas going up against each other. You have Foxy, who is apparently heel for the 50th time this year. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's good for WWE in the sense that as much as people like to give the show crap, it's actually getting them featured and it's more exposure than they've had in years. I mean, wasn't
It
there two
is.
title divas matches last pay per view?
Have I watched them or?
Well, okay, maybe you didn't watch them, but I could have swore last month there was 2 different divas matches, and that's like a first. I,
SummerSlam, I think had
was it SummerSlam?
SummerSlam had AJ Lee and Caitlyn, but they were in a mixed tag match, and then there was another match with Natalia versus Brie Bella, and that's what I'm talking about. Is that and this goes back to what I was talking about earlier before we started the call, before we started the podcast. Um, is that like the ring psychology doesn't make any sense? Like AJ Lee can tap out immediately to the sharpshooter, but then at the pay per view, Brie Bella will like kind of like power her way out of it, or find a way to like get to the ropes, and then it takes like Natalia a second time to put her in the sharpshooter to win, and then like 2 weeks later, Brie Bella will do absolutely nothing offensively, get one small break with like Natalia like accidentally like hitting a ring post or something, and then hit that face buster, and
Did
like
she hit it off
Natalia's
the
out
ring
cold.
post? Because the ring post in the past has always been, was it a shoulder?
I can't remember. Oh, no, no, no. You know what happened? Actually, Nikki got interference on the outside and like tripped her up on the ropes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Right.
I was
And
thinking because if it's a
then
shoulder, that's always been a thing where somebody's always stolen a match because their shoulder went into the pole. But I
yeah,
completely
I'm
get what you're
okay with
saying,
that because
though.
actually, yeah, because if you hit the shoulder, yeah, I get that. That makes sense to me.
Now, we brought this up before we started recording, too. Your thoughts on Nikki Bella. Well, it's not new by any means. She's done it before. Brie Bella, sorry.
Hmm.
With her, what is it called again? I can't remember what they call it on WWE TV. It's a
It's a
face buster,
face
but
buster, but I believe they call it the Bella Buster. I think that's what the actual name of it is. I
uh,
don't like it, and I think the what makes me not like it more is that the commentators don't even believe the match is over. Like I could get it if like you have like a silly finisher, but like the commentators, if the commentators sell it, then maybe I can get behind it. Like
you,
like it
it's
like
almost like when you think about it, you have guys like, Del Rio and especially Daniel Bryan now that didn't have that. It was always a submission finish.
Right.
But the way the announcers sold that knee to the face
Yeah.
was completely believable.
Yeah.
And
like,
with the
it's
Bella
just
Buster,
like,
you're
oh my
just
God,
like,
it's the running knee. Yeah. Like you hear it and you're like, oh, wow.
and think of all the Divas finishing maneuvers. And I think I could name pretty much all of them. Natalia with a sharpshooter. You have the
AJ
glam
Lee
with Beth.
Huh?
With Beth Phoenix, you had
Oh, Glam
the
Slam.
Glam Slam.
Oh yeah, you knew the mat, like you knew, okay, that's the finisher. But then with
I didn't like the Famouser. I never liked the Famouser with Kelly when she did it.
No,
I
like it better on Dolph Ziggler. I loved it the most with Billy Gunn.
All right, so now they can't do Twin Magic.
No, they can't do it anymore.
I want to see if they attempt to do it. Like going forward, I mean, I guess you could really wear like an athletic bra, but like honestly, somebody brought this up on Twitter tonight. I said we're ever going to see Twin Magic again, and I was like, yeah, of course. Oh, wait a minute, no, I had to think about it for a second.
Well, they're on face turn right now.
Yeah, what
these are the face Bellas. Like this just feels that.
And the Funkadactyls are gone. Has anybody seen the Funkadactyls lately?
Nope.
See,
they were in that 5-man tag team match.
See that? Well, that's what's wrong with WWE, and especially with the Divas. They were building up this awesome brand, especially with AJ Lee with the pipe bomb, Total Divas, and now exactly like you said, they're in a state of disarray. And it's one of the things I've never liked about the Divas title, and even the Intercontinental title as of late, is where somebody will keep becoming number one contender, and they will keep losing.
Yes,
like with Caitlyn. And then now with Brie Bella, if she loses, it's her first one-on-one for the title. But I'm sick of that with WWE, and that's one of the things they never do right with Divas.
No, they never have and never will. I don't believe. Like it's just aggravating because, and one of the bigger things that kind of like just irks me is that like
you're waiting for Paige, aren't you? That's all you care about. You're just waiting to start a Paige chant and.
No, it's not even that. It's that. You have divas there like right now on the roster that can work. Like Natalya can work. Naomi can work. AJ Lee can work. We saw tonight Alicia Fox can work. Like I don't even need to go to Paige, Emma, or Bayley in NXT.
I didn't even see those divas. Wow, I didn't even see that match. I skipped right past it.
Yeah, like Alicia Fox was unleashed tonight. She worked most of that match, got most of the offense, and then Brie Bella. And I've noticed what her, I guess you can call it the 5 moves of doom. Like, every wrestler has it, but it's really just 2 moves with her. It's that she gets like one drop kick off, then she gets another drop kick off, then she gets another drop kick off.
Who was in the 5-on-5 match, by the way, tonight?
What's that?
Who was in the 5-on? You said it was a 5-on-5?
Oh, that was last week.
Oh, last week, my bad.
Yeah, last week it was like AJ Lee and like.
Oh okay, I remember
her
that.
random assortment of friends now.
Well,
versus like all Total Divas.
That's I think the thing with the WWE, especially with the Divas, when you don't do anything with them and you don't see them for so long. Everybody's always complaining about Alicia Fox getting switched all the time, but when you don't have a chance to be on TV, you don't have a chance to build that personality. And when you reverse that, it doesn't really matter when you're not going to get featured anyway. I mean, you have Tamina Snuka.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Rosa wrestle recently, didn't we? I thought I saw her somewhere when I was at the event. And I thought Rosa did great.
In terms of TV time, all I've seen from Rosa Mendez was that one week she was coming out with Sin Cara to like help him revamp his character, and then I never saw her again. And then all of a sudden she randomly came out with The Miz to play like the fake Summer Rae when he did his
that's what I was talking. Yeah, when they got in the ring. Didn't they have a tag? No, I would have remembered Summer Wrestling. I would have remembered Summer. But you have Tamina Snuka, like you said. You have Kate. Now, who do you consider on the Divas roster an expendable diva?
Expendable? I mean, I can't. Like, as much as I can't stand the random, like they're always in the spotlight and they're always getting like these random small pushes and storylines where they shouldn't be. I can't, in my heart, call the Bellas expendable. They're not. They're not, because
they built a brand for themselves. Is what they've done.
Exactly. Like they can always work as heels. They always can. In terms of expendable, I mean, do we really know how good Tamina Snuka is? Like how good she can be?
That's a thing that somebody a couple months ago brought up to me. They had said, everybody always assumes Tamina's got what it takes, but we've
Right.
never ever once seen it. Like we've seen what Natalia's had, we've seen what Beth has had.
Right. Like we know that those two, like Beth Phoenix and Natalia, shouldn't be expendable. They should be, if anything, the top of that roster, but they're not.
I guess Tamina
Whereas
did
with
have a title match. It was Elimination Chamber, wasn't it? When she had her one shot and she blew it.
I have no idea. Never saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So now I need to backtrack and go watch that. But yeah, with Tamina, it's just like it's all just in the name right now. I mean, granted, I have seen one match where she was in a battle royale with to figure out who's going to be the number one contender when Caitlyn had the title, and AJ, and like she delivered, I believe it was either a drop kick, a clothesline. I can't remember what the move was, but the way that AJ sold it, like AJ was dead on the mat, like just dead.
The way AJ sells in general.
It sells in general, yeah. She always dies whenever like she gets hit with anything. But that made me think that maybe Tamina could work in the ring, but then I never see her anymore, so I don't know, what really is, what is Tamina, what are her capabilities, and on top of that, there's really no personality with her. Like I've never heard her hit the microphone, never seen her really do anything that grabs my attention. She's just kind of there, and she just kind of lives off the fact that the last name is Snuka. That's it.
So I just looked this up, and I think that's one of the reasons where it kind of hinders to me, and everybody expects her to have greatness. She really hasn't had a bad storyline yet, unlike Natalia, who had the farting gimmick.
Oh God,
which was super disrespectful.
Oh man, I hated that so much. When I found out that happened, I hated every moment of it. I thought that was the dumbest thing you could have possibly done to her, because it's so difficult to build up her credibility again.
Yeah. All right. So Caitlyn did face Tamina at the pay-per-view, and they had a build-up. I remember it. That's when she was starting to get matches. They faced off for the Divas title, and Caitlyn obviously retained, and it was just a 3-minute match. But I actually remember that match somewhat. And it's like you said. Unfortunately, I don't think the Divas are ever going to have that big place on the. That is just crazy to think. Sorry, I am way off topic on this. But looking back and remembering the fact that the Shield beat John Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus, and yet the Usos and who else beat it, like that just to me blows my mind. But
yeah, it is kind of mind blowing.
It's WWE booking, so it is what it is.
But yeah, like it kind of aggravates me at times where, I mean, granted, the AJ and Caitlyn match that they had when AJ won the title, and AJ or no, I think this was after AJ won the title. I think this may have been at Payback, and like I think either AJ or Caitlyn threw the other one over the announcer's table. That was one of the matches that kind of like got me into a Divas match, because it's very difficult in most times too. But when you see somebody thrown over a table, you're trying. You're trying.
No, absolutely. I think what happened to Caitlyn, by the way? I have not seen her in. I have no idea what happened to Caitlyn. Honestly, I'm just now thinking about that right now. That
she's tweeting all the time.
She had some pretty. I'm not even gonna. I have to look at some of these tweets tonight that Caitlyn had. She actually had me laughing pretty hysterically as I'm gonna pull this up. Where was it? Yeah, this is the perfect time to turn on the giant Fandango sign. Just really mess up the Wyatt's game plan.
Yeah,
I thought that would have been hilarious. As Kofi's just sitting in the ring, and oh man, and then the other one was, you know what they say: if you mess with the bull, you get put to shame with super sick flips and tricks.